Hey, what's up, big bro? Today, I want to talk overtraining. I've been thinking about overtraining a lot, and I think that my thoughts have reached a maturity to where I can lay out the current way in which I see things with regards to overtraining. Yesterday, we hit this very hard workout, which was one of the hardest workouts that we had done in a long ass time. It was nuts. It was basically 900 push ups through different burpee variations, 100 pull ups, 100 squats, 100 lunges, each leg, 100 dips. It was crazy. Needless to say, I came back home. I was high as a kite. It was crazy. Yeah, I hadn't felt like this in a long ass time. So it got me thinking again, overtraining. Is it a thing? Is it a myth? As you know, we have been operating under the understanding that there is no overtraining. Like, what the hell is overtraining? You just train and then you train harder the next day and then you train even harder than that. Yesterday, I thought, well, if we did a workout like the one that we did yesterday, every single day, you can kind of see how this might be too much. So it got me thinking again and rethinking, and here's where I currently stand. Overtraining, it's useful to know that there might be a point where you're doing too much. However, I do believe that the current way of operating, or the current way in which we're operating this thing, is much more valuable in that we don't consider overtraining to be a thing, and therefore we are one-upping ourselves. Every single day it gets harder and harder and better, and you get stronger and all these things. That's how you get stronger. There is some utility in having in the back of your mind that there might be something like too much, but I don't think it's really useful to have it anywhere in the front of your mind, because you don't want to have it at the ready. You don't want your lesser self to be able to reach for this and present it to you whenever it feels like giving up. Now, this is a very good point to add a little bit more context on what happened yesterday. Because yesterday, when we hit that hard ass workout, it was 10 rounds, right? The way it was programmed, it was supposed to be 10 rounds of 10 pull ups, 10 Navy SEALs, 10 squats, 10 three pumps, 10 lunges, 10 two pumps, 10 dips, 10 one pumps. All these calisthenics movements back to back. 10 rounds of what I just described. After 5 rounds, I heard them voices. Nah, do we really need to go up to round 10? I was like 1 hour, 80 minutes I'm in, and I was blasted. So my lesser self try to attack me with, do we really need to go beyond that? You've had a good stimulus and all this. Now, of course, you know me, this is not something that I'll do. I'm not gonna catch myself not sticking to my word. I said I was gonna do 10 rounds, I'm gonna do 10 rounds. But of course, my lesser self, my weaker self, is going to try an arsenal of excuses. Hold up. excuses or is going to try to find some loophole to make me quit. That's my lesser self, of course. Now, for me, the argument of, oh, you've had enough, it really don't work with me because my lesser self has tried this on me so many times and I, stood my ground every single time. So it's really not very effective, right? It's like Magic Carp with this one attack. Uh, what's it called? I forget the name, but you know what I mean. It's not very effective. However, if I had this thing of overtraining more in the front of my mind, then my lesser self might be more successful in employing this argument, this loophole to get me to quit. So I would say you can err on the side of caution here and operate under the assumption that overtraining is not a thing. Like, because really, your body can withstand so much adversity. It's crazy. You're probably not going to get yourself to the point of overtraining unless you really do 1,000 burpees every single day for 6 months. I don't really think it's worth to think about overtraining. Get your recovery, train hard. Of course, watch what you do outside the gym as well. And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Oh, overtraining is not really worth thinking about unless you're doing 1,000 burpees every single day. I don't think. So yeah, those are my thoughts. You might want to stay mindful of the loopholes that you provide your lesser self with. Be very careful there. And I'm going to say, with that being said, man, stay training, stay hard. Till next time. Deuces.